Wild, powerful, unpredictable. Waves have a mind of their own. My whole life, I've dreamed of serving in the United States military, to use my gifts to protect, serve, and honor people around the world. To prepare for my next chapter, I traveled to Hawaii to film a feature story with AccesSurf, an organization that provides life-changing accessible water programs for people with disabilities. My hope is to engage with a community of volunteers who share my mission.
Hi, I'm Murphy. Nice to meet you.
Hi, aloha. I'm Carmen from AccesSurf.
I'm from Nashville and I'm here with my high school media team. Can you tell me more about the mission of AccesSurf?
Absolutely. So AccesSurf has been going on for 18 years. These programs actually allow people with adapted or disabilities to be able to have access to the water. We do this particular program the first Saturday of every month. Pretty much what it consists of is just different areas that they can participate on. They can go swimming, they can surf, or they can just talk stories. It's like a day at the beach with friends.
Why did you decide to get involved with AccesSurf?
My husband is prior military, and this is kind of like the beach that we would always come to, and we saw the tents, and we just fell in love with what they do. It's kind of like community, and it's kind of ohana for us. We just wanted to be a part of such a great organization.
What's one story that's impacted you while you've been serving with AccesSurf?
We recently had a day at the beach just like this. We had a participant that spoke Spanish. I'm originally from Panama. She was coming just on a vacation from Argentina. She is in a wheelchair, and the Uber driver told her, I'm like, hey, did you know about AccesSurf? Would you like to stop by? And she came, and she was able to participate and get back in the water. She had not been in the water since her accident. You know, her mom was in tears, and I was talking stories with her, and it just melted my heart.
Can you tell me what a day at the beach usually looks like with AccesSurf?
I have even better. Why don't I take you to meet some of my friends at the different stations and see how you guys can contribute to the day?
Yes, ma'am.
Follow me.
Hey, Carmen, these are my friends Austin, Will, and Baden.
Aloha, guys. Thanks for being here. AccesSurf is all about community and inclusivity. So we're actually standing in front of our participant check-in, which is the first step. You can come here and they can direct you to get the shirts that you guys have right now, and it will tell you a little bit about the section that you will be working. The next step would be we have a welcome circle. So now let me introduce you to some of our volunteers and take you to some of the different sections so you guys can get a little bit info as to what you guys will be doing for the day. But make sure you guys have fun.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Let's go, follow me.
Can you tell me more about AccesSurf and its original mission?
The original mission, and still is today, is to provide ocean access for anyone who has an impairment and the desire to get in the ocean. Whether you want to surf or whether you want to swim, whether you just want to be in the ocean, we want to provide a free, safe program.
Can you tell me one story that's impacted you trying to grow what you do?
There was a young girl. She drove out, but she was too scared to get out of the car because she didn't know how she would be accepted. So she turned around and left. Another month goes by and she says, I want to go back. She came out and she said, I was so welcomed by everyone. No one was looking at me different, like I was in a chair, stared at me. They just accepted me. They helped me into the water, and it just brought my whole life back. She's gone on to learn how to surf, to be involved with our adapted surf team, surf around the world, and go on to have a family and to be an ambassador for adapted surfing and adapted water programs. When I first moved over here 20 years ago, and I was working at a hospital as a recreation therapist, I kept hearing my patients say, oh, I used to go to the beach, Mark, but now I don't go to the beach because now I've got my wheelchair and it's too hard to push myself across the sand so I don't get in the water. So I was thinking, man, if I got in an accident, how would that be? And I kept hearing that over and over again. So I said, well, design a program that's safe. Everybody was like, yeah, that's a good idea.
Without the support of the volunteers and the equipment that AccesSurf provides, neither of us would be able to have the access to the beach and the water that we do, simply because our chairs make that very difficult without a lot of help.
So earlier y'all mentioned that your daughter's the reason why you are here. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
So I go to Mililani High School and I'm part of the JROTC. One of our service learning projects was AccesSurf. I was one of the leaders that was helping out and I loved it. So I started coming here every month since.
Because of my profession, I was once a physical therapist in the Philippines and I'm a nurse now. When I first came to the beach with my daughter and I was watching the transfers, helping the people with impairments, it really inspired me. I wanted to help. It's such an honor to be part of this organization because every time I come here, I know I'm making making a difference?
The most basic thing you can do, I think, is talk to the volunteers, talk to the participants, just make their day a little bit better. We're at the beach, it's a day at the beach, you gotta enjoy yourself.
What has been the most impactful moment that you've had?
The most impactful moment was actually just last month when we had a participant who was not only legally blind, but also hard of hearing. And she was so brave to go out and surf, and she had faith that she could do it. She had such confidence, and it really impacted me and made me appreciate this organization and what we do for so many people. And I knew it was something that I couldn't miss out on. I just had to be a part of it.
So can you tell me a little about the transfer station?
The transfers were basically in charge of getting participants in and out of the water. So we try to meet their needs for their particular disability. So if they need a wheelchair, we have Moby chairs. If they need to get quick carried down into the water, which is where they lay across the surfboard and we pick them up and carry them in, we'll do that. But we encourage them to try to do as much on their own as possible. So if they are mobile, we'll try to just be there for them and help them guide them in the water.
So what is it that keeps you coming back?
I think that when you find people that have, limited mobility or a limited ability to communicate, and then you get them out in the ocean and you get them in the water, and all of a sudden they start to just change, and you can see it in their face, you can see it in their body. People light up when they're able to come out and surf with us, and they just catch that surf stroke, and to be able to share that is an amazing thing.
Can you tell me a little more about what the surfing station does specifically?
With the surf instructors, we're taking out the participants, so a lot of the times we're doing tandem surfing, where I'll be on the back of the board and there'll be somebody else on the front of the board that's a participant. Typically, we'll have a shadow with each surf instructor, just an additional safety precaution. It's also a good way to start getting new instructors familiar with the process. And we also do the assisted surfing, where sometimes we'll actually shadow with somebody that's surfing more independently and then help them catch waves and kind of develop on their own as well.
Is there anything that me and my friends can specifically do to help y'all out?
If somebody's interested in doing the surf instructing in the future, it's good to practice with somebody else on the front of the surfboard, just so you understand how it feels to have that other body in front of you, how the board responds. We have a lot of safety precautions in place, but a lot of it is just experience and developing a certain level of comfort and knowing what to expect and how to react to situations.
Thank you.
Right on, you got it, man. Thank you.
How can I participate as a swim service assignment in a AccessSurf day at the beach?
First off, do you know how to swim?
I do.
Okay, good. If you know how to swim, then basically we just want to make sure we have a safe and fun day at the beach for our families with impairments. And we're going to ask them if they need assistance with their swimming, such as a life jacket and some flotation, or maybe some assistance with helping across the sand and into the water. But once they're in the water, you can help float them, or they may try to swim a little bit, but a lot of times they just want to get in the water and just relax.
What is it that makes you keep coming back?
I get to be a pusher, which means we're pushing people into the waves. Do you surf?
I have before.
Okay, yeah. So you know how it feels that first time you catch a wave. Catching waves is one thing. Giving them away, though, is a whole nother level. And just seeing the absolute stoke on people's faces, just being able to give away that excitement that you got that first wave you ever got, it keeps you coming back. Also, there's moments where it's like a volunteer's first time, and you just see the stoke on their face when they come back in, and they're like, holy smokes, I didn't realize how incredible this could be.
So you're one of the leaders of water safety. Can you tell me more about that, specifically what y'all do?
Water safety is a huge role. We kind of are a lifeguard type position. So we have those that are on rescue boards, and then we have people that are in the water with fins as well. And water safety, we're just keeping an eye on things. We're making sure everything stays safe. What AccessSurf has been able to do for some of us that have been around for a while is give us lifeguarding classes. So we've learned these skills in order to really keep everyone safe, so families can come here and trust us with their kids. No, they don't have to worry that something's gonna happen because we got them. Love on the people around you and get to know them. That's like the biggest thing that can help us. And then just, post on social media how much you love AccessSurf, and of course, encourage people to donate. This event does not happen with zero money or zero volunteers. So just enjoy the day and tell everyone you know that you enjoyed it.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
It only took a few moments of serving with AccessSurf for me to realize my hope was gratified. Assisted swim, transfers, beach safety, surfing. These are the stations my friends and I volunteered. As we reflected on our experience, we realized that a fulfilled life is about service. It's about ohana, family, community. So now, I call you to action. Be encouraged, because each of you should use whatever gift you have received to serve others as faithful stewards of God's grace in its various forms. 1 Peter 4:10.